In this training, you'll experience the sales methodology that allowed me to earn over $100,000 a month in commissions. We'll go through a full discovery with one of my students. I am going to be the closer and they are going to play the prospect, and you'll be able to identify the things that are missing in your sales calls that are keeping you from earning more money in sales. So without any further ado, let's crack in. All right, cool. So in your opinion, what is the biggest challenge that you're having with your current taxes right now?
I'm just paying way too much.
Okay. I noticed you took a big sigh there. Why is that?
Just, man, I work so hard. I'm like successful, but just handing over a tax bill every year to my government, it's just like, oh man, just so frustrating.
Okay. Do you remember how much the last tax bill was that you handed over to the government?
It was somewhere in the region of 120 to $150,000.
Okay. And how many years have you handed that over, so to speak?
Probably the last 7 years I've been successful, so I'm having to pay, significant chunks like that.
Okay. When you say significant chunks, has it been different in the first 2, 3, 4 years compared to now, or has it been around about that number every year?
It's been progressively more and more. It's been around about 100K for the past 4 years, but the 3 years before that, it was like 30, 40, 70.
Okay. So 30, 40 for a few years. Then it's been around 100. And then what's meant that it's now gone to 120, 150, 50% increase?
Well, it's been about 120 to 150 for the past 3 years.
Okay. So it was 30, 40, and then it's been 120, 150. What led to the jump in between those two numbers?
My business partner and I, around COVID time, set up a new business, and we were just building it for the first couple years, and then it really took off a few years into it.
Okay. So you built a new business
And
that
then
took off.
fucking Trudeau raised the taxes, so we had to pay more as well.
Okay. So you had a new business that took off. Taxes were raised as well.
Yeah.
And with how things are right now, is that number fairly consistent or is it starting to go up on the rise?
It's fairly consistent.
Okay. So it's fairly consistent. All right. So that's a very, very high level overview of your taxes. So you've paid, let's just say over the last 4 years, somewhere around about $500,000 in taxes. Is
That's
that
correct.
accurate? Okay. So has something changed as to why, given that it's staying consistent, you no longer are willing to hand that money over anymore?
Nothing's changed. I just don't want to do it anymore.
Something must have changed.
I guess
Are you working harder than you were because you said that incongruence between how hard you're working versus the money you're handing over was a big deal, or is there another type of change?
to be honest with you, Josh, um, the money, it's not the fact that I'm handing over the money that's so annoying to me. It's actually like I'm giving it to a government that is actively bringing in people into my city that like fucking hate me.
You specifically?
Well, I'm Israeli, and there's like loads of free Palestine stuff going on, and there's just anti-Semitism around like in my city, and the government are bringing these people in and putting them up in hotels and like paying for their, you know, so they don't have to work. So it's not just money that I'm losing, it's also, funding people that actively want to destroy my country and don't want me to exist.
So who's paying for them to be put up?
The Canadian government.
With whose money?
Well, with the taxpayers' money.
Which is whose?
Well, it should be mine.
How do you feel about that?
Feels like shit.
Okay. Why don't you just go live somewhere else?
I can't. I love my wife and my kids, and they're in their schools, and my life is here, man. I don't want to move anywhere else.
Okay, so your life is here, but you don't like the way the government are essentially giving the money that you're handing over to house people that are creating hatred against you, conflict against your, just your lifestyle, I guess. Is that accurate?
Yeah, and it's like I can't exactly go back to Israel. Like I don't want to leave my family and go there. It's like, yeah.
Has there been any incidents with this situation where it's become something that you need to resolve now as opposed to just something you see on the news?
No, it's just something I see in the news is like every week there's a new thing, there's a new march, there's a new this. It's just I can just feel it more day to day in the streets, more kind of angst,
Okay. What do you feel specifically?
freaking hatred towards my people.
Okay. Listen, I don't want to get into a what's right or wrong type of conversation. This is about your personal experience with this. And you're welcome to correct me if I'm wrong or you disagree. But there's quite a big difference between you seeing stuff on the news and seeing a general hatred towards your culture, towards your heritage, towards your people, versus it's personally affecting you some way, somehow. Now, I'm not saying you can't do this, but you would be the first person I've ever come across if it was the former, where you're willing to put time, your own personal money, changing things around for a general negative situation against your culture. I've only personally come across people that would go through all of that investment of time and money for something that's personally affecting you. So, has there been some type of shift from it being a general thing that is very unreasonable to this is your life that's being affected?
Yeah, I mean, put the political stuff aside, I want to freaking buy a house, a sweet house,
Okay.
have for me and my family. I've been living with my in my wife's house. I mean, yeah, we're married, but like before we got married, it was her house. She bought it. It's in her name. And it's we'd like to upsize, but I'm just getting hemorrhaged with taxes.
Okay. Why do you want to upsize?
Just we got two kids that are getting bigger and older, like they used to share one bedroom. Now we think they probably need a bedroom each. Yeah, just need time to upsize. And I don't want to have a shitty house because I'm rich.
Okay, and just clarify for me, what's the reason you're struggling to do that right now? What's the challenge with just going and buying a bigger house?
Well, it would be nice to have an extra 100K each year to put towards a bigger, nicer house.
Could you afford it without changing your tax?
I couldn't afford the house size that I'd like.
Okay. So it's either settle for a house that isn't really what you want, or it's you need to leverage essentially cash from money that you're literally handing over every year anyway. Is that accurate?
Correct. And I don't want to take a bigger loan. Like I don't want to get a bigger mortgage with more risk. I just want to, use the money that I already receive, and instead of
Right.
giving it away to a government that hates me, use it to make a bigger house for me and my family.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, where do you think you would stand, or what do you think you would be doing if you were still in the situation where you want the bigger house? It's going to cost you more money, obviously, but the money that you were giving away to tax was going away to good things. Like, let's say they were building good schools and things like that. Where would you stand then?
I'd still want my bigger house.
I completely understand that. My question is more, would you just grow your business and make more money, or would you still at that point be looking to regain the tax money that you're handing over?
I can't grow my business. I can't scale it as I want to because I'm always having to. It's not just a tax that, yeah, the tax is big and heavy, but anytime, because of the structure of my businesses, I got holding companies and multiple companies under there, and I'm a partner of some companies. Every time I move money, it's a taxable event. So I have to pay taxes and it gets slowed down bureaucratically. So I can't scale my business in Canada,
At all?
not in the way that's, strategic.
Okay.
Not
So,
in a way that's going to get me a big juicy house in the next couple of years.
so unless you change your tax setup, you do not have any significant growth available to you,
Correct.
enough to get the house.
Unless I did with some big loan, but I don't think I can really do that, and I don't really want to anyway. So yeah, tax is the biggest lever.
Okay. How long have you wanted this house then?
Probably the past year, 18 months, as my kids have been getting bigger, we've been thinking about it.
Sorry, say again, 18 months. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a priority is it to get this house now? 10 being we literally need to move into this house ASAP, 0 being it's a nice to have, but it's not essential.
5.
Hmm. Okay. How do you feel about that number given what you already know about entrepreneurship, business people doing things that are a 5 out of 10?
Yeah, true. If it's not a 10, like it's not exactly a priority, so it's less likely to happen.
So what do you want me to do?
Reduce my taxes.
We can't do that for someone that's only a 5 out of 10 serious and important because there's things that you're going to need to contribute on your end. Forget the money, effort, time, collaborativeness. We're going to build this whole strategy with you. It's just not a fit for us with someone that's a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Where was the importance when you booked in this call? Was it a 5 out of 10 or was there something bubbling over?
There was something bubbling over. That day, I had got really mad by something I saw in the news and saw in the streets. And I was like, I'm just fucking sick of giving money to this government it's just, yeah, I don't like.
Okay. Do you think that emotional situation is going to happen again where you get mad?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. On that day when you got mad, did it impact your business? Did it impact your work? Did it impact your day with your wife, with your kids? Did it have any impact?
Yeah, actually, I was a pain in the ass when I got back to my wife that day.
What did you do?
Just short-tempered. We're just talking about something we've been trying to get over as a couple for a while. And yeah, just kind of bubbled over the surface. Just
Is
shouted
it
at her.
is it serious what you're trying to get over? Like, is it, hey, we don't like the
It's
same
just
color of
one of
paint on the
those
walls? Or,
not paying on the walls. She's firmly in charge of that. Yeah, it was just some personal relationship stuff.
but my question is it something that if this continues to happen, you might be on the path for a divorce, or is it, hey, we're just not going to have
Uh,
sex for a few days?
it's not gonna have sex for a few days.
Okay. At this point, unless there's something that you have tucked up your sleeve somewhere, I don't feel like there's enough for this to be a win-win situation for us to move forward right now. But I'll be honest with you, usually when we get guys on these calls, they don't really tell us everything straight away because it's personal stuff, it's private. They kind of say, oh, it's a 5 out of 10, but deep down it's more than that. But it's entirely up to you if this is a 5 out of 10 or if this is a 9 out of 10. So I don't want to waste your time. I'm sure you don't want to waste mine. It's either genuinely a 5 out of 10, and we may as well just part ways and we can circle back in a year's time. You'll get pretty frustrated with the stuff that's going on with the news every other day for the next year. But if it's not a priority, it's not a priority. Or there's something else. And it makes no difference to me either way. I just want to have an honest conversation with you.
Got it. So let's say the house is somewhat of a 5 out of 10. It would be nice to have, but it's not my priority. But
Right.
every single time that I've had to write this like $100,000 check to the freaking government for the past 7 years, particularly the past five, not only because I'm paying more, but also because the government's become even worse. If there's a way for me to not pay this government, but still live in Canada, I would move mountains. I'm a 10 out of 10 to get that handled.
Okay. Well, that was going to be my question is what level of importance do you think it needs to be on a scale of 1 to 10 for you to find the way and actually take action on the way?
It's a 10. I don't want to pay Trudeau and his cronies.
You really don't like Trudeau, do you?
No way, man. Like, yeah, obviously not. He's importing people that want to kill me into my city.
Okay. Does your wife have any opinions on this?
Yeah,
Is
she's
she,
same as me. It's, she's Jewish too. It's like just trying to get on with our life, but like, oh man, it's scary out there.
what do you mean scary?
I look Jewish, man. I'm serious. It's like,
But have you had any incidents specifically?
not me personally, but my cousin, like, look, I'm Israeli, okay? So
Okay.
most of my family have moved to Israel because they've been persecuted. Like my fucking cousin, he's French actually, but he got beaten up twice by different people because he looks Jewish. He looks like me. And that's just something I don't want to do. And I don't want these people around me. And, you're right. Maybe I should just move back to Israel. But if there's
Well,
something that,
yeah, because sorry, let me just cut you off quickly. Even if you weren't paying tax, I get that it would be less annoying because you're not giving your money to corroborate with this very unreasonable situation. But correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know how it would affect when you're walking down the street and you look Jewish.
makes sense, but I guess then two things can happen. One, if we set, because I saw your company, something you can set up in the US, that would help me to have a foothold there so that if shit hits the fan, I can fuck off to the US, no problem. Or two,
Can you,
yeah, with
sorry, let me just clarify. Can you do that right now? Could you just get on a plane and move over there if you needed to?
I need an E2 investment visa, which means I need to have a US company, stuff like that. I don't have one of those. And I saw you guys do that, so
So what I'm kind of putting the tea leaves together as is for all these different, I don't want to say little things, but more satellite things. You've got the house, you don't like Trudeau for obvious and understandable reasons. You don't have the security that you could just get on a plane and go be safe in USA. You sound there's a quote for it, or there's a phrase for it. I forget what it is, but it's like kind of like a man on an island. Like you just sound like you're on this island, like on your own, isolated from security, safety, peace, happiness, feeling welcomed. You sound very isolated. How do you
yeah,
feel?
that that's accurate. I mean, yeah, I have my Jewish community here, which is great. But we're all feeling the same thing. We all don't want to pay the Trudeau government, and we're considering moving to the US at some point. But it's hard to do so because I'm not,
When is some point? What's the timeline on that?
you know, if I could have a fast track visa to get in there, it would be a considerable thing I would talk with my wife about to move to the US within this year, as
Within this year?
in 12 months, yeah.
Okay. Do you have any foothold in any type of process currently to get that accomplished?
I don't have a foothold. I'm looking into it, and the best way for me to do it in the shortest amount of time would be getting the E2 investment visa, which means I need to have a US company.
Okay. Do you want to leave Canada? Like, forget about logistically, it's possible, when it's possible. Do you want to leave Canada?
I personally, yes. My wife is less so and likes it there in Canada, but if we had a fast track way for us to get there and a foothold there and, a setup there, I could persuade her.
How certain are you could persuade her?
8 out of 10.
Okay. Do you want to persuade her? Like, is that something you want to do in terms of you want to be the one behind persuading her that you pack up everything, you move to USA? And I don't, that's not a trick question. I'm not saying, hey, you're a bad person for persuading your wife. I'm just curious, is you want to move, she's a little bit unsure, but do you want to be the one that leads that decision to,
Yeah.
okay? Because
Yeah, I'm the money
what
maker, I'm the bread taker. She just loves her family and her friends that she has there, but she could move if I wanted to.
okay, and if you could just click your fingers, when would you move out of Canada?
If I could just click my fingers, I would start setting up a foothold and like having a base there. Not like move my entire everything there tomorrow, but tomorrow start setting up foundations.
Okay, why wouldn't you move everything there tomorrow if you could just click your fingers and it's all done? There was nothing for you to
Okay,
do.
true. If like the kids' school was found and like all of those logistical things with the snap of the finger, I would do it, yeah.
Okay, so aside from logistically going through the process, you don't want to be in Canada anymore. You would rather just be somewhere else.
Correct.
Okay, because that's kind of what I'm starting to understand is sure, we can talk about reducing your taxes. We can talk about stop giving your tax away to people you don't want to give it away to, get the bigger house, all of those things. But the root thing that solves all of this, it sounds like, is you want a way out of Canada as quick as possible. Is that
Or at least,
accurate?
yes, at least the option to leave out of Canada as soon as possible.
Well, that's different. And I do need to be clear what you want because, again, no disrespect to you, but the things that you've covered so far, they're nice to haves. They're certainly going to make your life better. You'll make more money. It will remove some of the stress, but it's not consolidating into something that's a clear plan, at least on my side. I don't really see it very clearly, but what I can see, and I'm not telling you what to do, it's your life, is okay, if all of these things were pointed in the direction of you leaving Canada, that would make sense for you to become one of our clients and we would help you through those steps. But what a second ago you said, yes, I do want to move. And if I could click my fingers, I'd do it today. Now you're saying, well, yes, no. So let's just take a time out for a second. Is there anything going on in your business, in your life? You mentioned stuff with your marriage that's having you a little bit undecided on things. I'm getting the vibe of like you're not so sure what you want.
Right. I suppose there's somewhat a reflection. Like I feel stuck in my finances because anytime I move anything, it's a taxable event. I gotta pay freaking government. I feel stuck in my decision of whether I want to be here or wherever I want to go. And I just feel like when I'm in Canada, either financially or physically, I am stuck. So having a platform or having a vehicle that allows me to unstuck myself, because I know from my research, if I have stuff in the US, like that's global. I can do loads of shit with that I can't do with my Canadian setup. I'm looking for a way out of my disempowerment in terms of the ability to move around financially or geographically, should I choose to do so when I come to a clear point of one way or the other.
Well, we can absolutely help you with that, but you need to be at the clear point of one way or another. So, how do you want to navigate this? Do you want to think about it? Do you want to come back tomorrow? Do you want to make a
I'm
decision right now? Like, what do you want to do?
I'm clear that I want to have an alternative vehicle
Right.
to use however I choose to use it. Because right now I don't have a vehicle. So even if I was clear if I wanted to leave, I couldn't actually do it.
I hear you. I definitely understand that. I don't know any of our clients that have ever become a client and been a good client that just wanted it as like a backup option. They became a client and they were a great client because they had a specific use case for the new setup right now. It's kind of like, if you're in a marriage, if you don't specifically want to leave your marriage, get divorced and go be with someone else, you're not going to be like exploring options. You shouldn't be.
But I mean, if you right now, if you can give me less taxes, fuck yeah, I'd do that right now.
Okay, that's enough for you
Yeah,
without everything else.
because I'm already paying like approximately 40% tax, so 150K. If you can, as it says on your thing, if you can get me down to like, even if it was at most 21%, that's already saving me like $70,000. That's freaking sweet. Is that
It
enough
def-
for your client?
Listen, everybody has a different amount of money that is going to make them feel happy. But if you're already paying 150 down to 70, like an extra 60 grand, I just don't know how much of a life-changing difference that's going to be.
Yeah, but it said on your ad that it's not like one tax saving year. Like once this is set up, I'll be able to save that forever. And I'm only fucking
You
35.
you can convince me as much as you want. I'd love you to convince me. I'm just double, triple, quadruple checking that $70,000 wets your whistle, so to speak.
Hey, where's my whistle, baby? Come on. Especially $70,000 for the rest of my life. That's like, I'm gonna be 100. So that's like, I don't even know those numbers, but that's well into the millions.
How old are you now?
35.
Yeah, so 50 years times by 70 grand, 77, 4.9 million.
Yeah.
That's a decent amount.
Plus having the extra vehicle, plus being able to then, because I'm not stuck with my money with taxable events all the time, I can actually scale my business, plus access to the US market.
How many hours would you be willing to carve out on a weekly basis to work with us to set this up, to save in the short term around about 70,000 within the next 12 months? In the longer term, to not be giving your money away to people that you don't want to be able to get access to that additional capital for the house, to have a option to leave, what would be the amount of time that you'd be willing to carve out? And when I say carve out, I mean like starting tomorrow. Like how much time would you carve out to work with us to build this?
Well, when you put it that way, I do what it takes, man. Like I'm in to do that. I'm really fast learner. I'm flexible with my strategy. I've like, my business is leveraged as fuck. So like I could put in 10 hours a week at the beginning to like get this all set up. Hopefully I don't have to do 10 hours a week for the rest of my life.
No, it would be for a few months. We'd help you set it all up and then it's pretty much automated.
Yeah. Then yeah, I'd be up for doing, 10 hours a week or a little bit more, whatever. Yeah, whatever it takes, man.
Okay. So hopefully you're enjoying this training. Now, if you're brand new to the channel, you can skip this. But if you've been watching my videos for weeks or months, you've gotten value, you've implemented, you're making more money because of it, the question I have for you is, what are you doing? Still sitting on the outside? Are you someone who's going to continue to just watch free content when deep down you know being on the inside, being mentored by me directly, being around other unicorn closers is the thing that would take you to the next level? If you think you're getting value from the free content I'm putting out here on YouTube, what do you think happens inside the mastermind? So if you know you're ready, if you're at that point, you've seen what you needed to see, click the link below this video, jump inside. I'll see you there. Now back to the training. So I'm clear on all the nuances, the house, don't like Trudeau, we've clarified that. You do want to be able to leave if you had that option available. I'm clear on all of that. The bit that I'm not quite crystal clear on is at the start of the call, you seemed fairly certain that you want to do something about this right now. In the middle of the call, you were a little bit more lost, if I do say so, a little bit confused. Now
Yeah.
at the end of the call, you're very gung ho on I need to do this. And again, I don't mean any disrespect in any way, shape, or form. It's just the changes of your kind of clarity throughout the call is a little bit concerning in regards to, would we enroll you as a client and a week from now you're like, oh, actually this isn't really that much a priority, I can kind of wait. And then we've gone through onboarding you, maybe we've even started setting things up, and then you're back in limbo. So just nothing to do with this call, nothing to do with financing. Like, are you okay? Is there anything kind of making you a little bit back and forth?
I feel, I definitely feel okay.
Okay.
Uh, you know, as okay as a Jew can be in as where I am.
Right.
Um, I guess I'm just like when I booked this call, I was really interested to see what this was all about.
Did I
And
put you off?
no, no, you've definitely helped me to create some clarity, which I'm grateful for. So, yeah, and you're right, I was like all over the place. But when I put the pieces on the table, you're right, I don't like paying taxes, I don't like Trudeau. I want to do anything I can to minimize that in the short and long term. I don't like particularly being in Canada, and you're right indeed, like the news is kind of, yeah, it's there, but it's not exactly at the moment directly affecting me. Could it in the future? Possibly. But yeah, it would be nice to start taking steps towards resolving those as soon as possible. But if this is the right fit, like I just saw an ad on a quick VSL, I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm trying to check is this the right fit? And really the only detail of is it the right fit is if you tell me the things that I know we can absolutely help with, and you are 100% certain and 100% committed that you need that help right now, those two things, that's really all it is. After this chat, I'll take you through all the details of how it works. But this part of the conversation is not about how. This is about, is it a fit? Which is just simply, you've told me things that I know we can help with. We can obviously reduce your tax by 20-ish%. We can set you up so you have the option to move to USA. We can get you access to have the money that you're currently giving away to a government that is very disrespectful to your people, have that money back, be able to use that for a bigger house, which you said your kids are getting bigger, you want a bigger house. We can help you with everything you've said, like tangibly. But I just need to make sure, do you have absolute clarity that this is what you need, an absolute commitment that you need to make this change right now? Because just completely direct of you, Dr. Robin, this is a call for me to close you as a client if it's a fit. There's no point us both wasting our time going in circles if it's kind of like, well, it's kind of useful for me sometime in the near future. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah. And when you say everything, when you lay it out like that, it is something that it's been in the back of my mind. I've just not really cleared it out as you have for me today. And when I
What,
see
sorry, just one thing. I helped you clear it out. I appreciate that. You've been very helpful as well. What was the specific moment that led you to booking this call? Was there one thing? Was that the thing you saw on the news the other day?
no, it was, I mean, yes, so I was angry about the news and I saw all of that. And then I've been trying to, with my accountants, reduce my tax as much as possible. I played all the fucking cards and I saw your ad saying that you can reduce taxes by setting up in the US. And I just was not aware that you could do further tax reductions using strategies like that, which is a stone that I have not unturned.
How much are you paying your accountant?
Top dollar. He's a good, he's the best accountant in town.
How much are you paying him?
Oh, like fucking whatever, 5,000 a month or something for all the businesses.
And what percentage tax did he get you to?
Overall on everything, it's probably like 37.
So that's like 17% more than we could get you to.
Correct.
Sounds like that's a very expensive 60,000 that you've been spending.
That's a great point. But I'm still going to need him, you know, because I mean, from watching the VSL and stuff, like I'm going to have to like basically do taxes in the US and in Canada. I probably wouldn't need to pay him 5K a month though. Pay him a
It's
lot
not
less.
it's not a, it's not about the 5K you're paying, it's the fact that he didn't have the I don't know the word. He wasn't able to say to you, "Hey, this is as far as I can go, but there are people that can take it further." We could call it, I don't want to be too harsh on your accountant, but negligence, that he didn't know that there were other things. Like one thing's for him to say, "Hey, I can't do the next level of tax saving for you, but there is a way to do it, but you need to go talk to this type of company." The
Yeah.
fact that he didn't know that sounds like quite an expensive faux pas on his end.
That's true. And I think, he's a normal Canadian guy, he's not like an international tax strategist like I see you guys are. So like I feel like he's like he just doesn't know what he doesn't know. I didn't even know that you guys existed until now. So like how could he?
By researching it.
Fair enough.
Because that's kind of where we've been getting with this conversation is you do have things that you want to do, but between your accountant and between you, and I say this respectfully, you've kind of chosen to be unaware of things. You're aware of the news, but you're not aware of 2, 3 years ago when you started giving away 100 or handing over 120 to 150,000. You didn't nudge your accountant to go looking for a better option. Your accountant didn't nudge you that there was a better option. And here's why I share that. You said, you've only just seen us from an advert. Well, it's not about that you just saw us from an advert that's the issue. It's the fact that you've had a problem, something you're not happy with, the situation in Canada, the giving away the money, not being able to get the house for the last year, working so hard, and all of those things combined. But between you and your accountant, you've kind of just accepted it and you haven't really actively done anything. And why I say that is it sounds like you need someone to kind of come in this part of your life and just tell you what to do. Because if left to your own devices, the kind of way that you've been operating with this part of your life is just leaving it as it is. And it sounds like that's been causing you some emotional duress, at least over the last year. So, do you want to go away and like do your own research as far as try and make yourself more aware? Or do you want someone to just lead you to what to do and how to do it and tell you to do it now?
Fucking yeah, tell me what to do, bro.
Why'd you pick that?
Because you're fucking right. Yeah,
About what?
about me, like I'm so like I have three businesses and I have two kids and a wife and a business partner. I've got so much on my plate. So like you're right, like I should have researched it, but I just the truth is I don't have time. It's not on my it's not on my yeah, I guess it is on my list of leverage activities, but from being a businessman, I'd much rather pay someone to do it for me to buy my time so I can continue growing the business, doing what I need to do in all three of those, looking after my wife and doing all those things. So yes, I want someone to do it for me and just fucking take over and lead the way if they can reduce my taxes more than my accountant.
So do you want us to just take this off your plate?
Yes,
When?
as soon as possible.
Today?
Yesterday. If it all lines up and like it looks like it's going to help, then yeah.
Well, let's cover that. With respect, you don't know what lines up because you're unaware. So we're back to square one, which is you can go away and research what's going to line up and come back to me. And we both know you're not going to do that. Not
Right.
because you're a bad person, but because you're busy. You've got all of these other things going on. And for the last few years, you haven't done that. So you don't know what's going to line up because you've got no reference point. All
No.
you have is how pissed off are you with handing this money away currently? And do you want to just allow us to just take it off your plate? But there is this limbo in the middle of you're just going to have to trust us. And you're going to have to trust us based on a few things. And I'll give you a few pointers. And this is a question. Having this conversation with me, what's your intuition tell you? Do you feel like you can trust me? Do you feel like you can trust us to just take care of this for you?
Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I still trust you though.
Okay. Why?
Because you've helped me line up all the things. You've helped me pull apart in my brain that's been led there subconsciously for a while. And I saw as well the VSL, I think it was Dr. Robin. He looks Jewish. He must be Jewish. So I trusted him straight away. So having that in the background, having this proper conversation, and I can tell you're not letting me off the hook, man. Like that's respectable. And if you're able to hold me, to this level, then I'm sure the next people who are not the salespeople, Dr. Robin or whoever, will will be as high caliber as this.
So, what do you want to do?
Find out how someone can just fucking lower my taxes and get me a vehicle out of Canada.
Okay. Well, I can take you through that. And essentially, what this is going to do is you're going to have the option at the end of the call to just trust us to come in and take this all off your plate. But I'll say it one more time, it's an element of trust because you don't have experience to measure it with. And you can either go away and get that awareness, which, again, respectfully, you're probably not going to do, or you can just say, this is what I want. I want to pay less taxes. I don't want to give my money and hand it over to this government. I want to have an exit plan to go to USA or anywhere out of Canada, basically. I want to be able to get this house. I don't want to be watching this shit on the news and feeling like, why the hell am I giving my own money to support this and house these people? And it's really the commitment to stop doing that that is what's going to make your decision rather than the awareness of how we're going to do it. Because again, we don't have time to train you on what we're going to do. It's just, hey, give us access to what you have set up right now. We'll move some things around and Bob's your uncle. It's all off your plate and you've got a much better setup. Now, sure, we'll be asking you questions and things like that. But is that something that or how do you feel currently about that position that I just laid out?
I feel really comfortable with like giving you guys the keys to do what you need to do and set up the freaking entities and structures as you said in the video for me. Hell yeah,
Okay.
go set that up. My question to you, I know I don't have any reference in terms of like, is this, gonna line up and everything? But do you have any reference in terms of like my business structure and all of that and my taxes? Do you have reference in that you can do this for me?
What do you mean? Do we have reference? Are we good at what we do? Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Like what? Yeah, I understand. I'm sure, of course, you're good at what you do, but like, can you do it for me?
Well, if for whatever reason we brought you on as a client and we couldn't, we would just refund your money. But that hasn't happened so far.
Okay. And do you have some like testimonials or references of other clients that I could take a look at?
Mm, just do you think that you would want us to give you out to be our salesperson and hand out where you're currently set up and what your banking system is and how much we've saved you in tax? Would you want us to do that for you?
No.
Is that a deal breaker for you if we're not willing to share our clients' private information with
I'm
you?
good. bro. I'm good.
Okay, what
You
what
sure you're
changed?
not Jewish, Josh? Like you got a lot of trust with me right now.
What changed?
Just your honesty and you're holding the line and like putting it back on me. And yeah, it's really respectable.
Sounds like you've not had many experiences of that, maybe business wise.
Yeah, that's probably true. I've just had my head down and not really reflected a lot.
Just out of curiosity, what do you think it would do for you and for your business to start working with people that you can trust?
It would allow me to expand and grow because we've been stuck around this level for a while. And yeah, maybe that's a missing piece actually. Good point, Josh.
Missing piece in what?
In our ability to grow.
Sorry, what's the missing piece?
Having working with people that help us to, that are super honest and help us to help me and my business partners to self-reflect and, ask and answer the hard questions,
To take things off your plate.
to take things off my plate and also just like go in a direction that is leveraged.
So I'm clear on all the tangible stuff, the house, the taxes, Trudeau. We don't have to go over it that all over again. It sounds like one of the biggest, deeper things for you is, and this is going to sound very woo woo, but I get the feeling like you are nowhere near your full potential as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, because you've got so many things going on, confused, overwhelmed, things on your plate, people you don't trust. And even just us coming in and taking one of those things off your plate, one of those big things, sounds like quite a big deal for someone like yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, that's heavy.
In what way?
It's just like the way you've been able to pull that apart for me.
Don't grant me.
Oh no, I won't cry. Um, but you've just been able to pull that apart and realize that you know, take off a massive weight off my shoulders just from asking me how I am, I guess.
You'd be surprised how many business people, how many entrepreneurs have done a great job with blunt tools, so to speak. In other words, they've done good, they've made money, they've built a family, and they did all of that spinning all the plates on their own because they didn't have people around them that they trusted. And sure, we can only really help you with the finance things. We're not marriage counselors. We can't help you with that side of things. But just that one first time in your life as a business owner that you've had someone come in that can just say, Dr. Robin, we've got that. We've got that handled. It has a lot of snowball effect kind of scenarios that just to know, okay, I've got one person in my life that's taking care of all of this stuff. It might make you realize that there's other parts that we can't help you with, nothing to do with us, where you might actually start thinking, maybe there is a good service provider in the marketing side of my business that I can actually go and hand that off to as well. It's kind of like the first time you have a good experience with people that you can trust can be quite life changing.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah,
So, is there anything we haven't covered?
no,
Okay. How are you feeling? Conversations got a bit heavy, which is good in some ways, but do you need a minute?
no, I'm good to go, man. Let's fucking do this.
Okay. What were you thinking about? What was kind of going through your mind?
Just the how you've been able to, yeah, help me reflect and take big bricks off that I didn't even know I had. And so I was like trying to scan everything, like, is there any more bricks I can give to Josh to take off right now? But no, I think that's the massive fucking lever you've already pulled. And that's
Can I ask
enough
you a
for me to be like, right, yeah,
nice. Can I ask you a personal question?
sure.
You remember a minute ago, maybe 20 minutes ago, you were talking about you had some stuff going on with your wife.
Yeah.
How much of that? do you think has been caused or exacerbated because you have all of these bricks over you?
It's definitely a contributor because that's how I feel when I come home from work. I feel like I've just carried a freaking ton of bricks all day and straight back into it. Got to look after the kids and do all of those, pick up those bricks.
How do you think it's affecting her?
Well, I mean, she hasn't said anything, but it's my second long time relationship, and the previous one did end abruptly because I was so focused on work, and I can definitely feel that I'm somewhat focused on my career a lot, and like because I'm just going around in circles, making good money, but not able to grow, and trying everything to grow, but can't do it. So yeah, it probably is affecting her.
When, let's say at the end of this call, we decide, hey, let's get this cracking, which it sounds like we will, but I don't like to just assume things. And at the end of this call, you can kind of wipe your hands and say, this part of my life is now taken care of. The house, the taxes, the emotional duress from it. How do you think you'll show up to your wife when you get home?
Light and playful and excited that actually there is something we can do.
What impact do you think that will have on her?
That would definitely make it easier for example, persuade her to move to America.
Well, that is true. Let's talk her side of things for her.
Right. Yeah, she won't feel like she has to tiptoe around me on eggshells because it's it's so obvious to read on my face that I'm carrying a lot of shit. And I can feel already like I feel loosey goosey, like I've just been to a high quality chiropractor. So that's probably what she'll ask. Have you been to Dr. Robin again, that chiropractor? Like, no, I've been to Dr. Josh.
So it sounds like this is going to have an impact on you, your kind of mental emotions in terms of not handing over money to someone that you very much dislike, your financial situation, a bigger house for your kids. So it's going to have a big impact on your kids as well. And it could be, with all exaggerations taken out of it, could be the difference between your second marriage potentially going in the same direction as your first if you keep carrying all of these bricks and something just one day snaps versus you having this being a marriage that lasts. Because ultimately, whose choice is it how much longer you choose to carry all of these bricks?
It's my choice.
How much longer are you going to carry these bricks, weighing yourself down and weighing the people around you down?
Not a fucking minute longer.
Why not?
Because I'm done not having my own power. Like I feel disempowered everywhere. Like fucking money's going away to the people that I like least. I can't move my business because of all the, bureaucracy and trapdoors there. I'm not able to, you know, reflect with myself and take the pressure off myself to therefore feel good and be nice with my family.
How does that make you feel? You sounded very reflective over that.
I feel very empowered and also light. I feel,
Well, we haven't done anything yet. We have to take it off your plate first. All right,
yeah,
let's I think we've covered everything. Do you have anything else that you want to share? All right. Do you want me to walk you through the steps of us taking this off your plate?
yes, please.
All right, we'll go through that. Done. All right. You can't keep a straight face, Doctor Owen. You
I know.
breaking my state.
I'm just testing Josh.
All right, folks. We'll start with Dr. Robin's takeaways because I think he's got to bounce it. You still got 10 minutes, don't you? All right. Do you have any takeaways?
So this was a real climb, as and I thought I did a great job getting down to the paying taxes to Trudeau, to importing immigrants over that like wanted to kill him and stuff. Like that's what I thought was the real juicy part. But in reflection, I'm like, shit, like this guy, I did feel like I was channeling him. And I do feel like you managed to peel away so many layers that I missed in terms of the weight on his shoulders, the not really reflecting and being stuck everywhere. And I loved how you tied all of this into all the areas of my life, including difficulties with my wife and stuff, which I thought was super powerful. And I thought was, you know, I thought it was extra powerful because some of this stuff was actually happening to me. Um,
I gathered that.
gathered that, yeah. So I'm like,
You switched from the Canadian prospect to Dr. Robin carrying a lot of bricks. I got that.
yeah, so that was really awesome.
Nice. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I really liked how you didn't back down like a little bitch when I asked for testimonials and all the like. Oh, I love what you said about the process. You're like, with all due respect, you don't know shit about processes, so like, and you're gonna go away and not do any research. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. That's absolutely true.
Because you got to remember with these high level clients, that response is a trigger response of like I need to check this all aligns. Whereas when you know this type of avatar, the biggest value that you can provide for them is say, hey, listen to me very clearly. We're just going to do it all for you. Forget you going away for 6 weeks doing all this research that you're not going to do because you're busy. Just give it to us and we'll just do it. They like someone, you got to do it very calibrated. Hopefully I did a good job at that. They like when someone basically just says, no, man, like that's not what you're on this call for, is to have a chit chat, go away, do research, come back. You're on this call because you've got money, you're a badass, and you've got this issue in your life and you just want to pay someone to do it. But as a human being, they have a trigger response, which is, oh, I need to check if this aligns. Check based on what? You have no idea what aligns, and that's fine. But what's not fine is you're never going to have an idea of what aligns because you're so busy, too busy to go away and figure it out. And the fact that I know these prospects and this type of avatar, when I say that to them, they're like, yeah, that's true. Like I am that busy entrepreneur. I'm not going to fucking go away and research it. And the other thing with this type of avatar, which is slightly different to others, and this is an example of pulling from both ends where both ends are true. On one hand, rich people are actually many times more sensible with their money. But on the other hand, and I get these are contradictions, guys. On the other hand, rich people are also just like, hey, you know what? This service is 100 grand. I'll just pay it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Whatever. Like they've got so much money that there's another part of them that if you have the direct conversation forthrightly, which is you're not going to go away and do research and find out what aligns, just pay us and we'll do it all for you. They're like risk to reward ratio. They're like, it's 100 grand. I've got a load of money. The time it's going to take for me to do the research, which I'm also not going to do anyway, fuck it. I'll just pay for it. Like there's so many things, and I'm nowhere near the level of your clients. There's so many things that I've bought, and I just bought for the sake of, well, I'd rather have just bought it if I need it one day, and I've never used it. I've never even used the thing. But it's like, oh, well, I'll just buy it anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's understanding the type of avatar that you're on the phone with. Like I wouldn't have said to like some 70, 65-year-old grandma on an e-com offer considering building her first dropshipping business, oh, just trust us, we'll do it all for you. I would never say that because that would go in the wrong direction for that type of prospect. So this is the art of scriptless selling. Is like, I know what type of person you're playing and I'm going to talk directly to that type of person. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, thank you, Josh. Dr. Josh, it was great.
You're very welcome. All right, brother. Let me go through anybody else.
The
What's
takeaway
up?
for me is you calling out his mental models and how he viewed the situation 3 different ways throughout the call and
Yeah,
how that was incongruent.
100%. It's like if 1 minute he's like, hey, I'm on this call, I want to do this. We then dig into stuff and he's like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And then by the end of the call, he's like, no, I definitely need to do this. I'm like, your inconsistency is a red flag. I definitely didn't say your inconsistency is a red flag because to that type of prospect, that would have triggered him the wrong way. But like, imagine if you're going on some dates with a girl and in the beginning she's texting you all the time, hey, I want to meet up, I want to meet up, and you do that, you don't do that, whatever. A few weeks later she just goes cold for a few weeks. And then a few weeks later again, she's all like, hey, I want to meet up. You'd be like, you're psychologically unhinged. So that in itself, the inconsistency of the pattern is like, well, we need to discuss that. And you need to tie me down as to why this is not something I should be concerned about. And the number one way to do that, hopefully you all saw it, I explained why. I just said, listen, you've been quite up and down. This, and this, I gave the examples. There's no point us bringing you in as a client and a week from now, you're like, hey, this is not really a priority anymore. I'd rather just not bring you on as a client, right? So it's just reading the room and being so detached.
Yeah, that makes sense. It basically how they're showing up on the call really determines whether or not you pull them out of discovery and what type of client they're possibly going to be.
How they are in the last 5 minutes of the discovery, and also how the closer is, and listen to this, guys, this is very important. How the prospect is and how the closer is in the last 5 minutes of the call will determine the way the prospect shows up to the program. I'll give you an example. If in the last 5 minutes of the call, the closer is doing all sorts of fancy reframes, tie downs, like all this, like basically manipulation, and they're trying to push the prospect into a corner, and they get them into a corner, and then the prospect buys, because of the way the call ended, where it was like, you made that happen, they're probably a refund risk inside the program. They're going to come in, they're not really going to bother doing much in the call, and they'll probably get buyer's remorse. If at the last 5 minutes you play your calls and you're like, wow, this is super chill, like it just naturally concluded, then they'll probably be a good client. And I could listen to the last 5 minutes of all closers calls that ended up refunding the prospect ended up refunding. And I could say, listen to the difference in the last 5 minutes of this call. Like you're battering the person into a decision. Not like they might not be being aggressive in their tonality, but the way they're using words to psychologically hook the prospect in, no wonder they fucking refunded and didn't put any effort into the program.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure, Chris.
I loved it. And one last thing, it's just
Sure,
your energy. Yeah, your energy is just, it's almost to the point where it's almost weird if they don't open up to you. That's the big key. So just energetically where you come from, it almost gives them that breath of fresh air, that safe spot to kind of just open up. And that's one of the things I notice is they're having conversations they've not had in probably ever. And I think there's a certain point with Dr. Robin where you kind of, I felt the relief off him. He's like, oh, I can get this off my chest, or literally off my shoulders too as well. So it's energetically too. It comes back to that observing your energy. Yeah, that's the big takeaway too. It's not just what you say, it's where it's coming from.
100%.
Yeah.
And I don't like blowing my own horn, but I have to say this so that you can all see it. My energy is so powerful, I actually shift a fake role play person into they start talking about their real life. How many times have you seen that on these role plays, guys? It's pretty much 99% of the time. You'll be role playing with me and you'll just start talking about your real life. Jeremy, Dr. Robin, I think you did it as well, Chris. It's like, that's not because I asked some crazy question. I don't think you could even do that with any perfect list of questions. It's my energy. You're like, this is just sucking me into a deep, expressive, opening up conversation. I can't escape the vacuum. It's just like a black hole that's just sucking you in. Like that, if I say so myself, that's the biggest signpost of how powerful the energy is these are all fake role plays that turn out to be the person playing the prospect starts talking about their real life. That's how tuned in I am to this is a real discussion for me. Who else has seen that happen before? Emil has, Yuri has, Bradley says all the time. Yeah. Did you have anything else, Chris?
That was great. Appreciate it.
All right. It's a pleasure.
What's up, Josh? Happy Monday. Well, I took so much notes, and the biggest one that I just came to the conclusion that it's the energy thing. just like you just expanded with Chris. Like you said, you're not here to you don't like blowing your own horn. How do you continue to cultivate that though? That powerful energy that you're able to completely connect with people in that way. Okay.
I still couldn't. I don't like saying couldn't. It would be very foolish of me to try and do it without reading my pre-call checklist. Like, why would I even try? Like, I have to choose that I'm going to be in this, there's no other word than unicorn state. Like, I know when I'm in that state on a sales call, no one on the planet other than the legends of history could match my state. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by legends of history. And again, this is going to sound extremely braggadocious, guys, so forgive
Do
me.
it.
But when I'm in the state that I'm in on a sales call, I think I'm in the same state that Michael Jordan was in when he was playing a game at his absolute prime. I don't think he's at a higher state than me. Like, I'm playing at the same mental and spiritual frequency that these people have played at when they are writing history. And I think that's where so many salespeople go wrong, is they're like, oh, it's just a sales call. It's like, no, guys, in your little moment in time, this is your final buzzer, 10 seconds on the clock, championship final game of the championship of all championships. Like, on this sales call, that's your equivalent of it. You better have your state on point at the level that these people that wrote history had their state on. And I genuinely believe I get into that level of state when I'm on a sales call.
It's not weird. It's not weird at all. I
I
remember
don't think
having
it's weird.
calls.
I just know to put myself in the same sentence as people like that, because they've done so many more things than me to get to where they got to tangibly, like to be someone that
Sure.
has sneakers named after them. But I'm just talking in the tiny little microcosm of, if you could put like an EEG, which is like one of those readers on people's like electricity through their body, and you could go back in time and stick one on Michael Jordan when he was in like a championship final game and he was like so laser focused, and it told you a reading of his electrical current through his body, like how switched on he was. I genuinely think mine would be the same when I'm on a sales call. It's just how switched on I am. Like, I'm so on the ball. And it just comes from choosing my state, choosing which state I'm going to be in.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like, put in the chat, folks, how many of you saw it coming at the end of the call when I then brought back up the wife? How many of you saw that coming? Because, like, I didn't even see that coming 5 seconds before it just popped into my brain. And I was like, actually, he's talking about all these bricks that he's wearing. Like, I wonder how that's affecting how he shows up to his wife. And that's when you're running the sales call from an embodied state rather than logical. You'll remember things that are beyond your logical mind remembering things when you're in the right state. It will just come to you. But you've got to really, really, really tune into that state. And until you've done it, and you've done it a few times, you don't even know how powerful it is. Like, you have to have got into that state and seen how your mind just delivers up everything you need, every question, every tonality, every body language, every pacing, every moment of silence. You just know, it's not even you know what to do, it's you do what to do. You don't even know what to do that you're thinking it and go, oh, in this moment, I should probably hold silence for 3 seconds. It's so quick that you just
Right.
embody the things to do, and it just happens instantaneously. That's how powerful your state is. Like, who here has ever had like a glass on the side of a cabinet, and you, for whatever reason, you knock the glass off the cabinet, and without even thinking, your hand just like goes down and grabs the glass. And you're like, I didn't even see the glass falling or where it was going to go to like align my hand to grab the glass. Like, I just, my reflexes, without even seeing the glass, just knew where to put my hand to catch the glass. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
It's just so beyond logic.
Do you still have that same state checklist from that you have in school, or has it
Yes.
changed?
It's my original one. Coffee stained, bloodied one.
The biggest takeaway for me, I'll say, is like just not letting him off the hook. Like, give me a big reason. Like, give me an actual big why on why you have to change this now. And even like you're just kind of like digging around trying to see if something is the actual big reason for the person to change. And it just seemed like there wasn't, like there really wasn't. And then you're just like, we're honest about it. Like, I'm just going to be honest. There is an investment, money wise, time wise, that you have to make. And if this is not something that is like, if it's something just a 5 out of 10 on the priority scale, it's just not going to be something that you're going to be like successful at. Of course, I'm butchering it, but it's kind of like in that sense. And it was really just a big opener for me seeing this actual detachment, because I just catch myself a lot of times thinking, all right, this could be like a valid reason, right? This could be a valid reason, when even though my intuition says that re-ask the question or just kind of dig deeper and understand if it's really the reason. So that was like a really big takeaway for me.
100%. Great takeaway. All right, folks. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. So there you have it. A full scriptless selling discovery. The scriptless selling methodology, I'm not following a script, I don't have pre-planned questions, and the internal mastery, the detachment, the frame control, the full 100% being present. If you saw those things that you just witnessed on that discovery and you thought, wow, I'm not doing those things and it's costing me money, it's making me lose sales, and it's causing me to not be earning the money that I truly want to be earning in sales, and you would like to fix that. If you're ready to do something about it, if you're ready to get on the inside of the mastermind, work with me directly, get around the other unicorns, and learn how to sell like that so you can be earning more money in commissions, then click the link below the video, join the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, and I look forward to working with you.